Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Telialigaen week number 7 for the major broadcast. Once again, my name is Babs on the Pass, and joined alongside me is the one, the only Hyferia and Hype. We are back here for the 7th week of this incredible event as we look to continue our undefeated streak. We are currently 5 games to the good with a single tie on the season and 0 losses. Hoping we can keep that excitement and keep that energy going through, because I am excited today. How are you doing on this fine Thursday, my friend?
It wasn't like playing rush hour to get here, but now that I'm here, I'm excited and I'm incredibly ready to get this matchup underway. I think an important note that we just have to make is that AW3 tied against Mustafluk.
I feel like we're going to have to mention this pretty much the entirety of today here. AW3, pretty much the big dogs here in this competition. Everybody since, well, before this season was talking about how AW3 are a threatening team, and they had performed like it up till now. They had the highest game differential out of any team, if I'm not mistaken. And in addition to that, they also had the same record at us at 5-1-0. They now are 5-2-0 in the tie with Mustafluk, which also does put in an interesting little factor here. Doing the math of it, I think we have officially qualified for playoffs no matter what at this stage. 5th place currently is the Razzle Dazzlers, who we took down last week, and even if the Razzle Dazzlers win from here on out, I don't know if they can actually pass us.
3 points, still 3 weeks to play. These are dangerous statements to be making, Bats, when you haven't thought this through. But I do think so, because we've got 3 weeks. That's 9 points. They're currently on 9. So in theory, they could still surpass us. But if we win here today, that's currents for them. Or, well, not necessarily for the Razzle Dazzlers, but we basically need to get a win here today to qualify. But apart from that, we are basically qualified already. I don't see us losing 3 in a row. Maybe the last week, then we don't get clinched first. But as long as we get that top 2 spot, that's the most important part. We just don't want to face AW3 from the get-go in the playoffs.
That's the big thing here is we don't want to have to face AW3 out the gates in playoffs. That just makes it more difficult for us. It makes it more difficult for them. All around, I don't think any of us want that to happen. We'd rather see the 2 top teams duke it out in the grand finals like they're supposed to. And, well, for AW3, they kind of have to try and get back on their horse if they want to do exactly that. Because Nordavind, hot on their tails as well as hot on our tails as well. They're another team who have not taken a loss throughout this season. The only 3 teams who have not done so are AW3, ourselves in Major, and in Nordavind. As well as Mustafluk has only taken a single loss. So again, the top 4 starting to round itself out, looking like this is most likely who's going to the playoffs here. But you never really know. There is still technically time in the season, like you said. If we get a win here today and give us 3 points to the good, that will guarantee us a spot in the playoffs at minimum. But first, we got to get there, Hyferia. And against the team we've got here today, it is going to be no easy task. It is Major versus Domino here. And Domino, a bit of an up and down season. I'll be the first to admit this is not exactly how we were expecting them to perform, considering their previous results. But they've still got a little bit of time to try and get themselves back into this one.
Absolutely. The match has just gone underway as well. Swampy already clearing it out to the side. Mads rips one from an angle. Looking for the follow-up, and Mad's still able to take control, pops it over one. Lucky just a tad bit too late as it drops into the center. Magma goes low with it, can't snap the bottom right corner. Has to back down. Victorson tries to go down the other end. Magma will be able to catch it. Of the shielding he goes. I've seen those clears become more and more useful time and time again. Can we pause? And well, indeed we can. Everybody can read the chat. 250 ping on Swampy. Let's just take a quick little break.
Now we're going to take a second, try to make sure that we are all good to go here, see if Swampy's ping will calm down. Hopefully it does, otherwise we might need to go make a new matchup here, which is okay. You know, we've got plenty of time and space here as, like we said, we want to keep this as fair as possible. Domino, a team who we want to try and give some momentum to, allow them to play to the best of their abilities, but, you know, we'll find out if we can get there. I think we are back in this game. Looks like the teams have taken just a second to pause, but the minute they get back into it, and look who has already scored. Major up 1-0.
And Matt's nicely taking control. Swampy with an early challenge, and Major, they are playing a good game here to start themselves off, really putting on the pressure. And well, there's a few extra seconds of the clock. Doesn't matter that much as this kickoff will go in favor of Swampy. So able to take control, takes it to the skies. Going to get past Mads. Yes, he can, but won't have the angle for the double tap. So Magma On the clear away, tries to flick it over. Victorson with an early challenge, shuts that down.
Shuts it down for now here, but again, oh my word, very close call on both ends already here. Not surprising to see constant action from these teams. It's been a minute since we got to see Major play with this much ferocity, but I love to see it. Last week, a little bit of a result we weren't exactly expecting, rather comfortable in our victory. So let's see if we can maybe have Domino give us a little bit more of a back and forth here. So far, they've done exactly that. Have gotten some decent offense here, but no goals to show for it. And with 2 minutes gone, they're going to have to try and now break out of their own half, because here comes that Major offense, pressuring them into their half. Swampy in the corner gets demoed for his efforts, and a pass out to center. That should be their shot on target, but a great save in front of the net will keep it out for now.
Oh, lucky with a good recovery on this as well. And I think that's a major difference, or the main difference in this series, or in this particular game, is that Major, they've got such quick recoveries, and they always manage to find each other. Mads here pops that up even further. Swampy has to use a lot of boost to get up to it, and then also to recover, but does manage to find the 100-pound Magma. Now looking for the second tap on the precipice of greatness, but only barely missed out.
Oh, but maybe we get a second chance here. Mads up for this one. Angle on target, and there we go. Just past halftime, and a little bit of a fake out will open up some space. Watch this. Mads tries to go up early, decides to stop boosting as he sees their opponent up for that one, and Victorson just kind of left there a little bit jaw-dropped. Oh my, oh my. 0-2 here as Major by far coming out the gate swinging.
Victorson now tries to get a punch back, though. Unlucky, he's the one to clear it away. Nicely dodges every single challenge until EM shuts it down. Magma out to the side. Swampy a bit too late. And Magma still tries to go down to the other side. And oh my word, this is getting a bit scary from Major. They have to hold on to the defense. They're looking at another sweep here this week, but oh my, this is getting incredibly close.
Oh my, yes indeed it is. We're still seeing some fight out of Domino, yet they're not going to let us out of our half without a fight, it seems right now. But Victorson not quite able to make the cleanest touch there, or actually no touch at all. So Magma will put a shot on target. EM with a great save in front of the net, but my oh my. Major really showing that, yeah, they're fine taking this pressure into their own half. All they need is about a quarter of a second, and they can put a shot on target.
Oh, this is going so incredibly quickly. Side to side, there's no real midfield battle whatsoever as Magma goes up for the earliest jump that I've seen in a very long while. Mads still pops it to the center. That midfield now being utilized just a tiny bit. Magma, the final man, does take his time, goes for a flip reset underneath. Wave dash not quite working out, but the bump afterwards is great. Mads with a shot, can't go underneath as EM takes it out to the right flank. Magma up early once again, not the greatest tap, at least not the one he was looking for, but he will take it since it does slow Domino down. Mads, that is going the wrong way, but oh my.
Oh, this is just tugging on our heartstrings already here. We knew this would be an interesting one. I didn't expect it to be this tense in the first game here. Domino may only have 3 shots, but every single one of those shots has been rather threatening. And, well, we've got an overwhelming amount of shots. Let's add on another. Our 10th shot, and it will find the back of the net. And, well, that back of the net shot isn't really going to matter much here. A third goal to the good is only just going to secure us the game. 40 seconds left, and it's looking like Major is taking game number 1.
Yeah, the passing field, it was a good idea. The intention was good. It's just that they weren't quite there on the side of Domino. The third man didn't creep up that far, and then the third man was in a very awkward position. The passing not necessarily was bad, but it's just a misread on your team's play as when the play has resumed. Mads takes it across the side again. Victorson taps that wide. EM with the follow-up. Magma reads that ball better, simply put. Lucky tries to get the read on this one as well. Has to meet Victorson in the air for a 50-50. Still Mads in the corner, can't quite force it through. Victorson still stands as strong, but this has been a relatively dominating Major game.
Yeah, this has been a rather dominant game here. We came out of the gate swinging, and, well, we never really stopped. 2 goals in the first couple of minutes there, and then tack on a third in the last just to get a little bit of an extra emphasis on the game. And I'm a little bit surprised by what we're seeing here right now, not necessarily because of the fact that, you know, Major taking the victory. On paper, this team is stronger, but Domino seem to have a real fight left in them here, Hyferia. We slip up for even a second, it feels like Domino might just be able to take a couple of wins here.
Absolutely, but I don't think they're actually playing with their main roster here today. It's EM, Swampy, and Wavy, the regular roster, and well, Victorson might just be a substitute from the second league. I'm not too sure regarding that, but either way, Domino, they do have a lot of class, and they initially actually had 2 rosters, I'm pretty sure, in this in the first division, and that has become Rotarian. Their main roster has become Rotarian, and this was the second league division team that came in here and still is trying to do bits, has tied once, and for the rest lost all 5. So this realistically just should be a 4-0 sweep.
Yeah, realistically, this should be. Theoretically, and looking at it on paper, in terms of the fact that Domino hasn't necessarily had as successful of a season as they would have liked, combined with the fact that they are using a sub here against what is basically the #1 team in this league, because if we take a win here, or even a tie, we basically pass over AW3. So it's a little bit on paper one-sided of an affair, but that doesn't mean that we can't get some great Rocket League anyways. We're here in game number 2 in this best of 6. Major chance to put themselves on a tie point. Yeah, I guess that's the best way to phrase it, but we're looking for something a little bit greater than that. Ambition set high, looking to try and continue with another undefeated win here. Going 4-0 today would do wonders to confidently put ourselves in first place, and we're on our way to do so. But first, we've got to get through game 2 as well. 20 seconds into this one, and so far, Major looking like they're back on offense, but they're going to have to be careful on the other end as well.
Absolutely, and that double commit could have spelled trouble, but they swiftly clear it away as Mads will go for an infield pass. Never mind, that's just a shot, but Swampy, he's prepared for that one. Lucky, the pass to the center, still Victorson clearing it away. Swampy, not a lot of boost in the tank, goes for the corner boost steal, but then will be wrong-sided with the ball. Mads going down the other end. Iam with a quick challenge, gets it to the center, but Lucky still is able to take control, denied by Swampy. Magma takes it all the way across, and Magma gets it completely taken out as Iam on the sidewall. Pinch that right back in. Major, they've got to be careful in defense.
They really do. This is why I say one little mistake and all of a sudden Domino might just steal a game from us. They're pressing the issue right now. They want that first goal. They want to try and show that they are still going to be a good team and are going to be a fight for us nonetheless. Oh my word, with saves like that, I can believe it. Swampy might have been able to make the first one, but unfortunately Victorson can't make the second, and Mads will hit the back of the net, but oh, that first save is just disgusting.
Absolutely ridiculous. And Dominoes, they show class, but Major, they just put on too much offense for Domino to clear away to the side every single time. And as soon as Domino let their guard down once, and that's where Major strike. Let's see what happens here. Magma up high with a phenomenal touch, sends it into Mads, and well, you let your guard down and you get knocked out.
Well, I think we figured out how Mads wants to play this game. Give them some space in the center and the air, and they're going to put a boomer into the back of your net. Swampy might have been able to save the first set of shots. Not so much on the second one. 2-0 here within the first 90 seconds, and it looks like Major are starting to find that flow on offense that we know and love. They've done this before, and when they start to do this, it can be a dangerous place for their opponents. Lucky trying to go for a ceiling read there, and that would have been something spectacular. No such luck, and we'll try and restart the offense out from midfield here, but Domino are going to have to be careful. If they start to give us this much momentum in offense, this game may be over before it begins.
Absolutely, Major. They're the big scary beast you don't really want to come up against, and what you really have to do when that is the case, just challenge them quickly. Try not to give any respect and read properly where their passes are going, as Victorson does have a nice interception. Good catch on the backward to follow it up. Pass to the center, not quite connecting, and there you have it. You need to be perfect in every single step if you want to take on Major, because they are just so incredibly quick to also recover from any tiny mistakes that they do end up making. They have to do it perfectly.
I mean, that's just the biggest thing about this team, though, is that that's why they do such a good job at dominating squads like this. The rotations for the three of them are on point. Look at the fact that Magma recognizes how much time they have in the corner there. Doesn't need to challenge, so they'll allow Mads to get a follow-up shot after the 50-50. And again, Magma does the same thing. No booming clears, no emptying it out to random spaces, just keeps it close and buys time for Mads to get to the back end and get ready on defense here. The rotation for Major at this point, it's just, well, on point. So with 2 minutes remaining, Domino really gonna have to start to disrupt us if they want a shot. That's a big demo, though. That's exactly what I was talking about. Unfortunately for them, though, couldn't quite execute, and it's back in their half yet again.
Magma catching it. And they like to play in their half, or in their opposing half, rather. As Magma gets the pop up, but it's Eyam who takes control. Mads backflips out of that one, but Magma still chasing that ball down and not letting up any space whatsoever. And instead of Domino not giving any space for the challenge, or not giving Major any space, as Major not giving Domino any space to work with. The swamping out with a shot, but a great save. And Lucky sends it wide as well. They're still coming for the onslaught, but Mads tries to prevent that from happening. Magma in the corner is getting annoyed by Eyam, still managed to brush that one off and clear it away.
I like that, though. The pressure we're still giving, even out at midfield there. You can see the rush challenge is the reason that Lucky was able to take possession there. A booming clear straight into them, or not even a clear, a shot, basically, is going to now allow Major to go the other way. And Lucky up for this one early. Fakes out for Mads, and he will shoot it low. Mads with a hat trick 4 minutes into this one, and it's due to the fake out in front of the net. This was beautifully played.
Yeah, this one's incredibly hard for Eyam, and once you spot the player going for the in and out, this is just exquisite shot placement. Precisely what you want. Put it low because they went high. That's always how you want to play it, but Eyam, they still have an opportunity to try and get back into this Victorson, to the center. Eyam is in the vicinity, but Lucky still takes control. Eyam and Swampy, they're both kind of on the, or Victorson rather, both kind of on the same rotation, just on different sides of the pitch. One could sneak up a bit more as they're just styling of Major now. I think that was a triple commit. Nice.
I think it's a little bit chaotic here. I don't know if there's a better word to use it. Free-flowing, maybe. It's another one to be a little bit more kind.
Creative.
But yeah, there you go. Creative is what I would love to use at this point, because I don't know what's happening right now in terms of the ball being hit everywhere. Booming clears into intricate aerial plays are pretty much all that we're seeing right now, evident by the fact that Lucky just went for that shot, but it kind of makes sense. We're up 3-0 for our second game in a row. Maybe we can see Domino get one for the road here, but this is kind of the results we were expecting, Hyferia. On paper, by far, Major are the stronger team here, and not only are they on paper the stronger team, they're playing like it right now. They're executing beautifully, and Domino, unfortunately, now find themselves one game away from, at minimum, having to tie this week. And, well, I don't think we're going to stop at a tie, my friend. I think we might just be going all the way.
Yeah, I have an inkling as well, a tiny little inkling, a voice inside my head saying that these past two games that we have already played look somewhat dominated towards the side of a Major. But hey, things can change. It is still Rocket League and anything can always happen. I think it's mainly that they need to up the pace on Domino. It's incredibly hard, really tough to do, but it can be as simple as that. Try and go for the play quicker. Force your play, force a Major's hand, because as soon as they get time to try and stall, try and set something up, they will.
Yep, that's the big thing here, is just don't give them the space to style and set something up. The offense clicks when it's given the chance here, and so far it's done it multiple different times. But with 5 minutes on the clock, it's a chance at renewal here for Domino. They need a win if they want to stay in this series. Not like the next one would be detrimental, but at minimum, basically, if they take a loss here, they, best case scenario, can take a tie. They cannot win, so for Domino right now, it's backs against the wall. They're going to have to try and fight with the best of their abilities. They are getting an offense together here, but an early goal for them would be pretty huge, and similarly, an early goal for us might just spell trouble. Oh, my word. Mads with a fake out on the line, and already Major up 1-0.
Oh my, Mads just diving underneath that play, boosting down to the ground to completely catch Eyam off guard, and, well, Swampy could not quite get to it close, but that's not going to be enough whatsoever. Still, that's only 30 seconds played in the game. That's still 4.5 minutes, but I see those 4.5 minutes as making it worse for Domino's Magma. They're already setting up another attack. Lucky to the backboard. Mads is going to be waiting patiently, recognize that he's third man. Let's Lucky chase it down. Lucky still to the backboard, gets a second tap. Good pinch into the center. Magma was already up in a phenomenal team bump. Oh my word, or not a team bump, but a bump off the line was making it clear, but a good recovery. Still keeps it only at a 1-goal game for Major.
I gotta give credit. I know we've been talking about how Domino really do look very strong and how they just need one little spark of life to get themselves an advantage here. I will say, I think they've had the advantage on defense here. The on-the-line saves we've seen from this team have been absolutely insane. And as much as our offensive pressure has been able to break them down on numerous occasions here, some of the plays they have pulled off have just been spectacular. So props to you, Domino. It may not necessarily be leading you guys into that solid of an offense as a couple of shots go awry here, but the defense for the team has held pretty strong. Unfortunately, it's not quite enough, like we said, but oh boy. At least sometimes they get some highlights. And speaking of highlights, that's definitely one for sure. Major find their second goal off the back of a filthy Magma bump.
This is just a brain highlight. No, there weren't any ridiculous mechanics used whatsoever, but just looking at that play, realizing they would clear it out instantly. And here you see my advice of saying to Domino, hey, just go quicker, forehead. They've adapted to that. But Major, they already adapted to Domino playing quicker, and they're going slow. They're going for the 50 afterwards. So incredibly smart. It is really hard for Domino to try and bring this one back, but they've got 3 minutes to try and do so. Victorson down the line sends it into the corner. Magma, that's an easy clear away.
Sent the other way, but can we find another goal to secure the game? Lucky trying to do it right there. They will get a follow-up shot from Mads that is saved by Swampy, but what's with these backboard angles? We've seen this so many times here today, where a player just tries to go for the narrowest little angle, and most of the time you're critical because you go, all right, well, you gave up possession. It's not really happening. I don't think we've missed so far. Maybe they've been saved, but every angle has been pretty much on point. And speaking of which, Lucky trying to go for another bump play there. Swampy will pick up a savior medal, but they're not quite out of it yet. Magma tries to get one last shot, and finally, they'll see a little bit of reprieve on the side of Domino, but they need to find themselves a goal, and they need to find it quick. Halfway through this game, still yet to score in this series, Hyferia. Domino need to find that spark of life on offense.
I think with those double touch, everybody just keeps on getting better and better at the game. Those double taps are getting pulled off with more consistency every single time. And oh my word, Magma got close to it. Mads will just try and go for a simple shot to 50. That will land on the line, but Swampy there to clear it away. Still to the center. Mads on a forward rotation back. Iam already in the corner, stealing that boost. And now Iam with a redirect on target. And Domino wait, is that their first?
Mm-hmm. That is their first all-series. That is their first game, first all-series. We have shut them out 2 games in a row, 3-0. Finally, they get themselves a goal, and it couldn't have been at a better time. Cuts our lead in half, and with 2 minutes remaining, they do have a chance here. And honestly, that was just a really well-executed play on the side of Domino there. Got to give credit where it is due. So far, we've seen Major stunt and play a lot of those mind games on offense, but finally Domino get a chance, and it's a rather spectacular play at that. The unfortunate truth for them, though, is it's not going to matter much, because here comes the third goal. Major back up by 2.
They're pulling off such weird plays as well. Mads with a put back center, lucky to tap it close to him when Mads will go underneath. What do you even do if you're Domino? You're looking at that play. You're not expecting any of those steps, but they've made the steps and they always land at the correct target. So I guess it worked out for them very much as Magma from distance. That is not going to catch Swampy off guard. He easily gets in the way. Swampy down the line. Magma gets in the way. They're 2 to the good, but Ian might just get a phenomenal angle down, and he will. That's just a phenomenal one.
What? This is disgusting. I gotta blame Major a little bit on this one for the, I'd say, disorganization on the backboard there, as Mads does bump in after the missed touch, but that doesn't really take away from the angle. The only reason any of that panic happens is because they see that that shot's an option, and, well, that shot got executed. EM, fantastic shot into the back of the net, and now, all of a sudden, Major gonna have to sweat a little bit here. They are currently, never mind, I was gonna say only up by 1 here, but apparently all they need to do is focus up in the air for about 2 seconds, and who else but Magma and Mads to control this aerial play?
I think it was a pre-jump. I'm not 100% sure, but there's something within me says that Magma just pre-jumped that play, and they always make it work. We've been on the air for Major for about 7 weeks now, and there have only been a few instances where we were having to watch with great detail, and the rest were just kind of, they're better. It's as simple as that. Like, how would you describe this match? They're better, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's just, again, the unfortunate truth is sometimes you face a big dog that you're not quite prepared for. And as much as Domino seem to be throwing everything at us and really giving us a good run for our money, it just seems like Major have got the edge here. And it's not, again, that surprising to see. It's just crazy how much they're really executing upon that edge here. Whether it's offense or defense, both, they really do seem comfortable around this pitch, so much so that, like you said, they're pre-jumping shots and actually hitting them as well. So 27 seconds left here in game number 3. At this point, it looks like Major are going to guarantee themselves a tie at minimum. And, well, that's a big tie for them because, like we said, getting extra points here at this point is just about securing ourselves playoffs no matter what. With 3 weeks remaining, the highest seed we could see here, I believe, is it number 5 getting up to 18 points? So we take a win here. We put ourselves in the lead and definitively at 18 itself. We take a loss here. We can't quite do so. But at minimum, we guarantee a tie. Put ourselves 1 point into the future here. And, well, all we need is one more game, Hyferia, and we also take that win as well.
And one more game for 2 extra points. I'd say that's a solid trade, and surely one that Major will be looking to make as they are on the cusp of getting that 4-0 sweep like they also did last week against Razzle Dazzlers. They've just been storming through and absolutely no stopping them. They need to meet an unstoppable force or an immovable object, which I think if you go to the science of it are the exact same things. Either way, they need to meet someone who's on the same level.
I think we're going to see that possibly in week number 9. For right now in week 7, we're just going to have to try and battle it out for possibly one more game. Game 4 underway here. This game would be the dagger here as we would see Major take yet another undefeated win. Let's see, can they do exactly that? Mad's just trying to get the offense together here. Not quite able to find a second touch, so Swampy will send this one center. Victor's in up for this one, but Magma is as well. Pre-jumps that one rather early and is only able to deflect, but double commit in the net. Gonna leave us a little bit vulnerable. Luckily enough, a good touch out to midfield. We'll find Lucky, who can continue this offense, but Mads can't quite. Magma on the back end, gonna now have to just try and contain. And I will be honest, it's a lot more offensive pressure than I was expecting. Domino coming out in game number 4, really swinging.
Absolutely, and now Swampy might actually be able to convert. One flick could have done the job. The flick gets blocked early as Victorson goes for the shot. That's an open net, and Victorson is Dominoes. They scored for the first time in the last game, and they now are in the lead for the first time in this series as well.
Uh-oh, we got to be careful here. We do not want to start getting into a false sense of security. Sometimes this can happen when you feel comfortable in the first couple of games. All of a sudden, you hit a little bit of a lull where you're not necessarily giving it your all as much, and then you have to try and refocus here. Right now for Major, I think that's exactly what they need to do. Playing rather carelessly isn't the right word. Fun is the best word I could use to describe it, but I know that isn't the correct descriptor. But yeah, pre-jumps like that were rather commonplace in the last game, and while we can understand why, considering their previous domination, now they are down by 1 with 90 seconds gone. They do not want to let this series start to slip away with them. It's time to close this one out and do so with some force.
Oh, well, there we go. Great passing play. And I was going to say they're playing a bit loose. Loose is how I would call it.
Yes.
Now, Magma to the backboard and just snipes it down to the Lucky. Phenomenal play. Even when they're playing loose, they play amazing.
I like also what the chat's saying. They're playing with some style. That's the best way to describe it here.
Yeah,
they truly are indeed doing that. They're just styling all over, my friend. This is exactly what we're hoping for. But we're also hoping that they don't necessarily give up some more goals here. Again, Domino really starting to find their flow on offense, Hyferia. And, well, if they continue to do so, we might actually have a pretty good back-and-forth series on our hands. Oh, well.
Well. I was going to say this is looking pretty close and make a reference as well to the playing with style, but I think this is kind of the opposite of that. This is just, you know, you try your best to look good and it just doesn't quite mesh as well as you thought it would, and Domino, they concede an own goal.
Oh, well, that looked pretty good. Please tell me this goes in. Yeah, indeed. Lucky gets credited with the goal, but I think it's all to Magma on this one. Double flicking. 2 players get completely beat there, and Lucky just needs to sink it into the back of the net. Does exactly that, and Major, all of a sudden, they're starting to find that flow on offense again, and now they are up by 2 goals with 3 minutes remaining.
And Major just out here flexing. Like, if you put that in real life, you don't really need a Gucci shirt, do you? Any other shirt will do, just a cheap one. But it sure as hell looks good if you have a Gucci shirt, or some of them at least, or any other more expensive brand. But this is what I mean, Victorson. Sometimes a regular old shirt does the job of insanely well, because this is just a phenomenal one.
I don't know if you can say it's a regular old anything. That flick, perfect placement, perfect power. My, oh my, was that something special? Just underneath 100 kilometers per hour into the top right. And again, Domino really looking like they've got some fight left in them. The first couple of games, we might have caught them by surprise with a quick left hook, but all of a sudden, they're starting to punch back here, and it's a real brawl at this point. Uh-oh, it's a brawl, though. We might find another goal. Lucky tries to slot one in from another flick in front of the net. But now we have all three players committed to offense here. We're going to have to be careful. Shot on target. No, it's not. Magma will make the save off the backboard, but that was going into the backboard anyways. Domino getting eerily close to that third goal. They tie this one up. This series goes on its head.
That's something I kind of have with Domino, and have been having the entire time, is they can play absolutely amazingly, like we see in this game. Phenomenal saves coming out of the defense here. The EM tries to set up the counterattack, but it doesn't quite come out every single game, and the consistency is still a factor that they need to embed into their game and really make sure that they're consistent every single game through, and then you genuinely will be looking at a top 4 team here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's still theoretically possible. That's the craziest thing about where we are in the season right now, is that Domino, if they can have a strong enough recovery, could actually make it back. And they also need the Razzle-Dazzlers to completely fall off here. But with 3 weeks left, they would need a win here and then to win out the rest of their season. And all of a sudden, they would have a shot at that playoffs. I do realize that in the meantime, while I've explained that scenario, I'm actually realizing that scenario has gone out the window. The best they can get here this week is a tie. So, unfortunately for Domino, playoff actually has been completely erased here with this result. But, you know, a good end of the season would be massive. At minimum, not getting relegated would be big for them. They'd prefer to at least stay in promotional playoffs.
We'll look for okay, Major. Getting a tad bit fortunate, I'd say, as it still lands into the center. But these final 2 weeks will be incredibly important for Domino. Currently, number 6 is sitting at 1, 2, 3. So is number 7, and so is number 8. If they are up against Playwell and Fact Revolution, both are teams that are 1, 2, 3 in the season. If Domino can do well those final 2 weeks, they might just clinch 5th, 6th, or 7th. That's very likely. They just need a win against, I think, one of them, and they've secured it. So Domino are still looking very solid to stay in the league.
It's very possible. It is very, very probable and possible here, but the unfortunate truth for them is it hasn't necessarily, like we said, been the season they were looking for here. Unfortunately, they have the second lowest game differential in this entire league, and well, let's see if they can maybe try and help themselves at least a little bit by getting a game here. 3 seconds left. They're going to try and keep this one up, but Swampy can only take a pass out to EM. Magma will spike this one down. Has no such desire to head to overtime and even risk it. We will take another 4-0 victory, and Major now have actually moved themselves into first place for, I believe, the first time all season. They are 19 points to the good here, and at this point, Hyferia, what we have just done is secure playoffs. Even if the Razzle Dazzlers win this week, win the next one, and win the final week, the best they could get is second in comparison to us. So we have secured ourselves playoffs, Hyferia. We move on, and my, oh my, what a fantastic feeling this must be for Major. Congratulations on guaranteeing yourselves playoffs.
Absolutely. They were looking for that top 2 spot, but this is still something that is a celebratory moment. You get there, and you have a cause to celebrate. You're top 4, you've guaranteed it, you've done well, you've done as you expected, but also those kind of things. You can't just say, oh, we're only top 4, we still need to be pushing. Of course, yes, that's true, but also just try and celebrate when you do achieve something. And I think for Domino, they've not got a necessary cause to celebrate here today, but these final 2 weeks, I'm certainly going to keep a close eye on them to see how they perform. They very well could just clinch that 5th to 7th spot.
100%. It's very possible. Again, with it being such a tight race at the bottom here, it's just about getting the necessary wins that really turn around your season. And the crazy thing is they don't also just need a necessary win. I think that they also could technically tie one of the two teams and they'd be able to make it through here. But again, wins are going to be a lot more useful, especially for a team like Domino who really need to just find some sort of spark of momentum here. They haven't been able to find themselves a win so far this season. So getting themselves a good result would be massive for the team's confidence. But Hyferia, we're not the Domino Esports channel. We are the major broadcast here. And for major, we've got to compliment them and shout them out one more time. Securing themselves playoffs, doing so without getting defeated so far this entire season. We move on to 6-1-0 so far with a 26-4 game differential. We are over 20 games positive, Hyferia. If that doesn't scream domination, I don't know what does.
Well, let me actually see. The last game that we dropped was in week 3.
Oh my god.
We have swept round 4, round 5, round 6, and now round 7. 4 weeks in a row where we've swept our opponent. And if that isn't something to go into playoffs with, I don't know what is. This is a massive boost of momentum. But I think next week, it might just be another one. I'm not too certain. It will be against Playwell, but that round 9. I think everybody's already looking towards that playoffs.
I think at this point, that's sort of what everybody has their eyes set on here is 2 things. 1, playoffs and round 9. They want to see the 2 top teams duke it out, and they want to also see, well, actually, crazy enough, this is insane. There's no way they intentionally did this. Not only are teams 1 and 2 most likely going to battle it out in week number 9, teams 3 and 4 are as well. Nordavind are scheduled to play up against Mustu Fluck in week 9 as well. So I'm going to say, I know everybody's got their eyes on playoffs at this point, but keep your eyes on week number 9. There's going to be a lot going down in that week.
It's going to be such an insane one. We've been hyping this up for so long already. They 100% did this intentionally. No way that they did not. Because I already look at that at the start. It's like, oh yeah, no, this is probably going to be the proper matchup for the end of the season. And hey, that's what you got to do. That's what makes it interesting. Adds that extra bit of pressure. If you had this match in week 2, it would be like, oh, yeah, no, we can regain the rest of the season. No, you have to do it in one final day, one final series. But that is only 2 weeks later. And we've got another one next week as well. And we'll be at the same time. So make sure to join us then as well. We thank you all for watching and tuning in and sticking with us. And we hope to see you next time. Have a good one.